Welcome to Harvest Kitchen. I'm Gina, and today we're gonna whip up some delicious, creamy, cheesy turkey tetrazzini. You know, Thanksgiving has just ended. We all have all this turkey left over. We need something to do with it. So I'm gonna make a casserole that is just a little different. It's creamy, it's cheesy, it's got pasta, and it is delicious. So let's get started. We start with boiling our water for our noodles. So I've got a Dutch oven filled with water. It's about to come to a boil, and in just a moment, we'll add our spaghetti noodles to it. In the meantime, we're gonna start our sauce. Let's go ahead and turn the heat on and get busy. All right, I'm gonna start at a medium heat with 5 tablespoons of butter. Now, I like to use unsalted butter so I can control the amount of salt in my food. Let's go ahead and bring that, well, not bring it, let's just melt it. All right, while that is melting, we're gonna go ahead and add our spaghetti noodles. We're gonna add 12 ounces, which is 1 full pack of spaghetti noodles. Now you can use them whole if you like. I like to break mine in half so they're just a little easier to eat. Okay, our spaghetti noodles are in the pan. They're going to come to a boil, and we're going to cook them for about 8 minutes. Go ahead and let them do their thing while we finish melting the butter. Almost ready. Okay, the butter has melted. Let's go ahead and turn our heat down just a little bit. We're gonna add 1 finely chopped onion. It's 1 whole onion that I've chopped up. Add it to the pan. Let's go ahead and start sauteing that. We want the onion to become translucent. Okay, our onion is becoming translucent. It's not quite there, but it's far enough along that we need to go ahead and add the mushrooms. And we're adding 8 ounces of sliced up mushroom. Let's go ahead and pour it in. Now, you can buy whole mushrooms at the store. You can buy them already pre-sliced. Pre-sliced is easier, but they slice it kind of thick, and it's a little too thick for me, so I like to slice my own. But you choose whatever you like. If you like them thicker, then go ahead and buy them. Make it easier for yourself. Right, let's mix this all up. Now we need the mushroom to cook. The onion will finish cooking. Let's get that finished. The mushrooms have cooked down, the onion is translucent. Now we're gonna add garlic. We've got 2 cloves of minced garlic. Let's pour that in. There we go, stir that up. And just let it simmer for another moment or 2. This is looking so good and smelling so good. I love the smell of garlic. Now some people don't really like garlic, but I love it. I think it's a great addition to almost any meal. Now we're gonna go ahead and start thickening that up. We're gonna start with a 1/4 cup of flour. Let's go ahead and add that. Now if you wanted to make this gluten-free, there's all kinds of gluten-free flours out there right now. Choose the one that you like. I've been using coconut flour. I really like it, but you have to remember that it's a little bit sweet. But any kind of gluten-free flour you like in place of regular flour, make this a gluten-free meal. Okay. Now you start seeing it's starting to look kind of pasty, which is great because we want this to make a really thick cream sauce. Okay. That's perfect. I'm going to turn my heat down a bit. Now I have 1/3 cup of chicken stock. Now, some people like to use cooking sherry instead. That is a personal preference. I prefer not to cook with a lot of alcohol because I don't drink. But if you like alcohol, you like sherry, use that. That's the really nice thing about this recipe is it's very versatile. You can make all kinds of changes and additions to it. And as we walk through it, I will show you more of these changes. All right, it's not quite as pasty. Now, let's go ahead and add in a little more chicken stock. This is a full 2 cups. I'm gonna add in about a cup first. There we go. Let's get that all mixed together. Now, here's where you have to be kind of careful, is you don't want this to become lumpy. So don't pour all your liquid in at one time and then try to stir it, or you'll just have a big clump of floury, mushroomy, oniony, just goo. So a little bit at a time. All right, that's looking really good. Perfect. Right, let's pour in the rest of it. This is the 2nd cup. Excellent. Now let's stir that up. Now you're gonna see that this is gonna go together really quickly now. All right. There we go. Let's let that simmer for a moment. It's gonna thicken up a little bit again. It's kind of like making a gravy. This has been simmering, it's thickened up a bit. Let's check our spaghetti noodles. Oh, they are looking really good. Let's go ahead and turn that off and just let them sit here for a moment while we finish up the sauce. Next thing we're gonna add is 2/3 of a cup of milk. Pour that in. All right, that's looking very good. Next, we're gonna add in 1/2 cup of full fat sour cream. This is another one of those places where you can make adjustments if you like. I like to use full fat sour cream, but if you wanna use low fat sour cream, you can. Or if you wanna use plain yogurt, you could do that too. All right, let's get that stirred in. All right, sour cream is all mixed in. Next, we're gonna add in 1 can of cream of celery soup. All right, there we go. And yet again, another place where you could make a change if you wanted. I like to use cream of celery soup, but you could use cream of mushroom if you prefer, or even cream of chicken, it would be fine. Okay, now let's add some seasoning to it. Next, we're gonna add in parsley. I have 2 tablespoons of finely chopped parsley. I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon right now. I'm gonna leave the rest for the top. I've also got a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper and a full teaspoon of salt. Go ahead and add those to it. Mix that in really well. This is looking really good. Okay, now we're gonna add the vegetables. I am adding peas. Let's add a 1.5 cups of peas. That's another place where you could make a change if you wanted. I like peas. You could use peas and carrots. You could use mixed veggies if you wanted. You could use broccoli or broccoli and cauliflower. There's so many things you could use. Like I said, my preference is just regular peas. Okay, coming together nicely. Now we're adding the turkey. This is leftover turkey. It's 3 cups that I've shredded up. Let's add that in. Now, maybe instead of turkey, you had ham. You could do the same recipe using ham if you wanted, or maybe you'd prefer to have some seafood. You could do that as well. It'd be so good. Like I said, there's so many different ways to make tetrazzini, different meats you could add, different variations. You can just be really creative with this recipe and add what you like. My pan's getting pretty full. I'm having to be careful stirring it. But mix the turkey in really well. And now, I had already seasoned my turkey when I baked it. I had a marinade that it was also a little bit spicy. So that's gonna add additional flavor to the tetrazzini at this point. Okay, good news is we're almost finished. Good thing, because I'm almost out of room. All right, now we're gonna add the cheeses. This is about 3 ounces of shredded Parmesan cheese. Let's go ahead and add it. Start stirring that in and get that melted. All right, we have one more cheese. Now I have 1 cup, which is 8 ounces of mozzarella. Add that in, get that stirred up. There we go. Now I'm just gonna let that sit here and simmer for a moment or two. That way the cheeses will melt. And I'm gonna pour the water off the spaghetti noodles. All right, I poured all of the water off my pasta. I put it back in my Dutch oven because I need a pan big enough to mix everything in. And as you can see, my skillet is full. So now we're gonna pick up the skillet. I'm gonna pour all of the sauce into the pasta. There we go. And now I have room to mix it. Stir it all up. Get all the sauce mixed in with the pasta. Okay, I've got it all mixed together. It's perfect. What we need to do now is pour it into a 9x13 cooking sheet. So let's get that. Okay, here's my 9x13 cooking sheet. It's a baking sheet. Now I have already sprayed it with cooking oil. I like to use canola cooking oil, but you can use whatever you like. All right, let's pour our tetrazzini into the casserole dish. There we go. All right. Oh boy, that makes a lot of turkey tetrazzini, let me tell you. That'll be perfect. Mix it all together. Cover your baking sheet. Let's get it all spread out evenly. All right, perfect. Now, all we have left to do is the topping. Let's do that real quick. Okay, for the topping, I have 1 cup of breadcrumbs that are seasoned, and I've got 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Let's go ahead and pour that together. Here we go. Now I'm gonna mix that up. I didn't really get a big enough bowl, so be careful. In fact, I'm gonna change bowls. Let's get a bigger bowl. Okay, I have a bigger bowl. Let's go ahead and pour the breadcrumbs in it so I can mix it a little easier without spilling. There we go. Let's mix that butter in. We just want the breadcrumbs lightly coated with a little bit of the butter. There we go. Okay, it's all done. Now we're gonna sprinkle that on top. It's just gonna make a nice golden top for us. Last thing we have to do is add that last little bit of parsley that we have. We're just gonna sprinkle it on top for a little color. There we go. Looks nice, very pretty. Okay, that's all we have to do. Now it goes into the oven. We're gonna cook it at 400 for about 20 minutes. Let's go ahead and put it in the oven. Okay, the timer just went off. Let's pull our tetrazzini out of the oven. Okay, look at this. It is beautiful. Look, it's golden brown on top and it's bubbling. You smell the cheese. This is going to be delicious. Let's go ahead and plate it up and try it. All right, it is steaming hot. Let's see if I can eat it this hot. Let's try it. Y'all, this is a keeper. Your family's gonna love this. What a great change from just regular turkey and turkey sandwiches and turkey and dressing and all the things that you've been eating for the last few days. Make this and it is going to be gone before you know it. It is delicious. All right, that is the end of this episode. We'll see you next time on Harvest Kitchen.